have Mary Ann THUMMEL here, and what year were you born?
I was born May 29, 1926.
That would make you 96 years old then.
Exactly. Where the house is now, where Leo Corpstein's house was, there was a big barn there. And this is the house we lived in now.
This is the house you were born in?
Right on Main Street. It's right on Main Street,
Oh,
right
wow.
across the alley over here.
And who lives here now?
Hmm?
Who lives here now?
The house my mom had it torn down. Danny Morris lives there. This is actually Main Street right here. My dad had a little building. He had a cow.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also a big barn across the street, which we didn't own, but I'm not sure that he kept the cow in that. But I know I was talking to my brother several weeks ago. Incidentally, he died a week ago and was buried yesterday. And this big barn, one day, he and my little bit older brother were in the barn and they started a fire in there.
Oh.
Somebody going by just happened to see it and put the fire out just in time, I guess. Anyway, I was talking to my brother a couple of weeks ago about it. I said, "You remember that?" He said, "Oh yeah, I was right beside Gene."
Any past Tipton celebrations? I mean, what did they used to do in the 30s? Did they still have?
I remember the one on the school grounds in front of the school, west of the school. I remember that one, but then the one, of course, that was later years when we had it across from the hall.
Mm-hmm. Kind of where that Great Plains sits.
Before that building was there, I guess.
What'd they sell in their stores?
Well, Schmiedler's had groceries and dry goods. Wilberg's was pretty well groceries, you know, that type of thing. Ladow's was pretty well groceries, and at one time they bought eggs and cream. And I think there was a cream station farther up this, you know, where our standard station was. Well, of course, we had a produce in there too. And then earlier before that, right north of the station, I think Charlie Mort's, might have had a cream station, or Norbert Mort's. Farther up the street, you know, north of the drugstore, I'm thinking there was maybe a produce in there for a while years ago.
Wow, so there was a lot of stores where you could. There was a lot of stores where you could buy goods and things. Wow.
There were. Schmiedler's were, of course, they were in several locations. You know, they burned down. And that was the one where the co-op station was, on the corner where the station is now. I think that was one that burned.
What's some of your favorite memories of Tipton?
Gosh, I haven't thought about that for a long time. I think one of my favorite memories was when my brother Charlie evidently had worked for other people and got enough money and bought a bike. So we had a bicycle, and I learned to ride a bicycle.
Wow. Huh.
Of course, that's the Charlie that just passed away.
Yeah. Huh. The streets of Tipton were probably dirt.
Right.
When you were a little girl, right?
And yeah, because we lived right on Main Street, practically, you know.
Did you go to school here at the Tipton High School?
High school, great school. Right here. Walked every day to school.
Oh, and there you are.
Yeah, so I started at the grade school.
You look like Jill in this photo.
Really?
You look like Jill.
Well, that's good. Thank
Yes.
you.
You were a pretty good golfer back in your day. I remember when I was a younger kid that you were pretty good golfer.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was your golfing partner? Who'd you golf with the most?
Well, from here, probably Barb Corpstein. Yeah. And we actually started at Downs, and Jim's, I think Kenny Pfeiffer started golfing with Jim, and this again was at Downs. So yeah, it was Barb.
Did you set any course records?
I may still have the one out here for low score, but I haven't been out here and looked for a long time.
I think you're still on there. I think you still have best score.
Is it still on there?
Yeah, you still have low score.
And I don't remember who was with me when I did that, or which holes I birdied or whatever. I have no idea. Probably should have taken the one we had cut down last year on IDEAD on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That was here back then. But it would have saved me $1,000 if we had cut it down back then, probably.
Very neat memories.
Oh, Jim went with the Harvest Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly strict, so.
She didn't let you go to all the dances?
Oh, no, we didn't get to go to all the dances. Finally, when I was old enough and I could go and...
What age? What age was old enough to go to the dances? How old?
I would say freshman.
Freshman?
Right.
So like 15-ish? Around 15?
14, 15.
14, 15?
Right. Yeah. This is that farm that sold the Steichen farm, the May.
Oh, okay. That barn was still... When I was in high school, that barn was still out
yeah,
there.
it's still one of those buildings. It's still there, isn't it?
Yep, I think so.
Right, I'm sure it is. One was a granary, I believe. The house that was out there on the farm.
Okay.
And you know, my grandmother was originally married to a sinner, and then her daughter married Mr. Kenigsman, so a lot of the Kenigsman family is also connected, and I would say a lot of these girls were originally Kenigsman girls.
Okay.
Like Mrs. Korpstein, Mrs. Schmidt, Lou's mother, Colette's mother, might be among those.
Since we're doing the 150th anniversary of Tipton, 150 years, 1872 is when it was established. What do you think has contributed to why Tipton is still here? There's a lot of little towns around us that went by the wayside.
Right.
What do you think Tipton possesses that?
Probably because of the school, the church.
You think we have a kind of a pioneer stubbornness in us? I've
sure.
heard people say stubborn old Germans. Do you think there's some truth to that?
I never put myself in that category. Yeah, but I'm sure that's true. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to get
Oh, I do. Yes, I do have a Steichen.
Were the Steichens from Tipton, Mary Ann? Or were
They were from Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm. But you go back to the early beginnings of Tipton, and there were Steichens. Some of the Steichens helped settle Tipton. All right. If you could give any advice to the young people of Tipton today, would you have any advice for them? You've obviously lived a good, well-lived life, and were successful. What advice would you give to the young people of Tipton?
I'm not sure, because I think most of the young people are taking the right path. They're going to college. A lot of them, back when I was growing up, a lot of us didn't go to college. I guess we felt, I did for 1 year, but I didn't really have any main goals I was aiming for, outside of getting married, probably. But I think the young kids today are doing great.
Good.